Good morning. Here's the weather report, an extended look at the weather in the Ozarks for now and for the next couple of days. And we really need an extended discussion because the rain just won't quit. This is a radar loop. I'm recording this shortly after 9 a.m. And the real intensity of the overall rain, specifically in small areas, has gone down. It's now become just sort of a large rain-making machine. And all of the areas outlined in green are flash flood warnings. Some of those are being whittled away in northern Arkansas, but there is a host of them, including northern Greene County, southwest and south of Springfield especially, southeast too. And I'll just take a little tour here and show you that this activity is approaching the areas that were hard hit by floods the last couple of days. Will a flash flood warning be necessary on those? We're just going to have to watch that. I think there's rain in that somewhere. Whether it's focused enough to cause that much additional problems up there remains to be seen. The Weather Service is monitoring that very carefully from Waynesville northeast to Rolla, in particular, Marys County too. But that band is slowing down and it's awfully rain efficient. So I'll be watching that very carefully as well. The overall picture is like this. We have this interesting feature out to the west of us, northwest of us almost now, that swirl you see in the clouds there, in the rain I should say, that moved like this over Wichita. That's often happens when you have these what are called small scale or mesoscale systems that are large enough in their production of rain and storms that they actually can create small little lows. And that's what's tracking right here. Now, typically in this zone ahead of a low like that, we watch for severe weather. And I'll talk about that here in just a second. But let's focus on this rain a little bit more. It is ending across much of southwest Missouri, or at least tapering off to the point where additional rain probably won't cause that much more additional problems. Having said that, of course, you just need to watch the radar trends carefully during the afternoon. Let's go back, take a look at first the Roaring River gauge here. Roaring River State Park pounded heavy this morning. And this is as of, I believe, about 8:30, with the river gauge reading 9.37 feet, well above the action level of 4 foot. Obviously, a flooding emergency was issued for that area, and it was a flash flood that did hit. And here are some pictures, courtesy of the Barry Lawrence County Severe Weather Information page. You can find them on Facebook. Skywarn folks out there doing a fantastic job. And there is water very close to the top of the bridge, and a camper, actually a fifth wheel there, sitting in the floodwaters of the campground. Again, that's the Barry Lawrence County Severe Weather Information page on Facebook if you want to look them up. This is the overnight rainfall radar estimate, and these do a pretty good job of at least targeting who got the rain. It may not get the totals right, but it certainly clearly outlines why Roaring River had a problem. That's the rainfall estimation of at least 6 to 8 inches in that area, with Roaring River located right tucked in there southeast of Cassville a little bit. And then what all started this morning was the Turkey Creek and the rainfall that fell at the Branson Airport, which at one time was estimated at just over 6 inches, but it was determined by the Weather Service that that automated gauge just stops working at 7. And actually the manual rain gauge, the one you check by hand, has recorded 8, and it's still raining down there. So that's why they had some problems this morning in Hollister with flooding, and a couple of RVs washed away down there as well. Now this is the Weather Service produced this. This is the 7-day rainfall estimate. The gauge, the key is on the left there. So if you're in the purple area, you have received an estimated 10 inches to almost a foot of rain. Almost all of that has been centered east and northeast of Springfield, in portions of Pulaski, Phelps, Laclede, we're talking about Wright County, parts of Texas County, certainly Marys County and Miller County included in that as well. So it's been a rough situation. Any additional rain in the areas of red and especially purple is just going to instantly flash flood, even if it's not delivered all that quickly. Now here's some model projections for Springfield for rainfall. Depending on what you believe, it's certainly over an inch, inch and a half. It could be as much as 3 or 4, or make that 2 or 3 inches of rain, depending on which one is correct and where these globs of rain move over the next couple of days, including maybe one hit tomorrow, another one over the weekend. It just kind of keeps accumulating. Here is the Weather Prediction Center's forecast. This is just for the next 3 days. If I extend that to the next 7 days, it doesn't change that much, suggesting that maybe this will turn off later on. But over the next 3 days, which includes today, tomorrow, and Saturday, we've got a 2.5 to 3 inch bullseye again centered over southwest Missouri. This thing will float around. It really depends on where the thunderstorm cluster is set up, and where they set up almost depends in large extent on where they were before. So we'll just have to watch this. As of this precipitable water, the efficiency in the atmosphere of rain production is very high on that axis from the Kansas-Missouri make that the Kansas-Oklahoma border area eastward to the Missouri-Arkansas border area, where we have precipitable waters of 2.2 inches. That just means through a column of the air, it is very humid, and rain that forms in this environment is going to be extremely good at producing heavy rain in particular. Slow movement is going to make it a little bit worse too, and it's a bad situation. There's the temperature pole. I do want to show you that. Last 15 days, we've been very cool. We've had a cool run of all below normal temperatures, in such a stark contrast to last year. One thing I do want to talk about too, now this is the current radar, and what you have outlined here is the severe weather risk for today. In yellow, it's a slight risk that runs into southwest Missouri and northwest Arkansas, with the epicenter of that out here over Oklahoma. I'm going to be watching that carefully, because I think what will happen during the course of the day is that the air in this area is going to become unstable. Already some signs of that happening. And again, with that low I talked about earlier, kind of enhances the wind shear a little bit and may make the situation worse than anybody actually is able to fathom at this point. That, by the way, the green shading is the 2% tornado risk. I don't think that's a big risk for us, especially nothing in the foreseeable future. It's all rain in the Ozarks right now. So that's the extended look at the weather this morning. It has been an active couple of days. It will continue to be an active couple of days. Please check out more breaking updates and quicker updates on Twitter and Facebook. I'll be monitoring this throughout the day.